Hello, how y'all doing? The title of this video is Do Poor People Stink? Now, this girl, evidently she works in the hospital, and she made this very short video. And she said, don't be offended by this video. But she's talked about how people come into the hospital heavily perfumed and they stink. In other words, not only does the perfume stink, but the perfume, along with their body odor, it stinks. She said they can smell them all the way down the hall. Now, she said, don't be offended by the video. But actually, I was offended. I was offended by the video. Because when people go to the hospital, they have no control over anything. I mean, if you go to the hospital for a heart attack, you don't have time to really take a shower, because seconds count in a heart attack. Or if you go to the hospital because of a seizure, you don't have time to take a shower because you're seizing. So, and the person's shot, they don't have time to go to a hospital. I mean, I'm sorry, they don't have time to go to a shower, take a shower, and so on. They have to go to the hospital as they are. So people don't have a lot of control of how they go to the hospital. Now, personally, just me personally, I've had a few hospital emergency visits. One visit, I had an injury, and I kind of washed myself up before I went to the hospital, because it was a foot injury, but I did wash myself off kind of, because I didn't want to go to the hospital smelling and all that stuff. So I did kind of wash. I couldn't get in the shower because it was a foot injury, a leg injury. So I did kind of wash myself off before I went to the hospital, changed everything, and so on. And just this February, I had to go to the emergency room. Now, this is just me personally. I did really wash myself off. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. I really tried to wash myself off. I changed all my clothes from head to foot. And then I called the ambulance, because I did not want to get into the ambulance smelling. I mean, I don't know, you know what you smell like at 5 o'clock in the morning, okay? That's just me personally. I wanted to wash myself off before I got into the ambulance. And I wanted to be clean when I went to the hospital. Because believe it or not, ambulance people, paramedics, they make note of that, whether or not you're clean or not. Whether or not they can smell you. They'll make that note. So I wanted to make sure that there was nothing in the note that said I stank, or that, I had body odor. That's just me personally. But like I said, a lot of times when you go to the hospital, you don't have any control over what you look like when you would get there. But if I have time, I like to take a shower and wash myself off before I get into the ambulance or before I go to the hospital. That's just me personally. Okay? But, it just struck a nerve with me, that video. I did not like the video. I was offended, frankly. Do poor people stink? Now, this is the truth of the matter. All these conditions that human beings have, like poverty, obesity, and body odor, these are like conditions of human beings and conditions of poor people. Okay? All of these is because we don't have wisdom. We're poverty stricken because we don't understand money. And what does that mean? We need to understand money. We need to read about money. There are some people who study money all day. All they do is study money. They're poor because they don't understand money. People are obese because they don't understand food. They don't understand what foods are best for the body. They don't understand that. Which foods are the best for the body? They don't understand things like that. People have body odor because they don't understand what soap is. They don't understand the importance of cleanliness. I mean, most of the odor is under the arm in the private areas. A lot of people don't understand that. So the reason why people smell is because they don't understand hygiene. They really don't. I mean, all throughout my life, as a youth up until now, I have seen rich, stinky, nasty, rich white people. I have seen stinky, nasty, middle-class white people, stinky, nasty, poor whites. I've seen some blacks that had an odor problem, middle class and poor. I've gone to the library. Kids left at the library don't have their hair combed. They smell bad. I've seen that all my life. So it's really about knowledge. Knowledge of, you have to start teaching your children hygiene when they're very young. The importance of taking a shower every day. And when they're in the 4th grade, it doesn't hurt them to use deodorant, particularly the girls. It doesn't, because they're into all kinds of gymnastics and stuff. So it doesn't hurt them to use any kind of deodorant or whatever. But all these conditions, poverty, obesity, body odor, that's because we have no knowledge of the importance of hygiene. Now, a lot of people assume that all poor people stink. A lot of people make that assumption. I'm from Appalachia, and they made that assumption, particularly about black kids. Well, they're black, they're poor, they're going to stink. The Appalachia, they're going to stink. And I don't think that's true necessarily either, okay? Because I've seen poor people, smelly people, stinky people from all walks of life. So I don't think it's necessarily a poor person's phenomenon. Loretta Lynn's mother told her that water is free and soap is cheap. So, I've never forgotten that not Oprah, but Loretta Lynn said that. She said water is free. Her mother said water is free and soap is cheap. So, it's just a knowledge. You got to teach your children hygiene. As you get older, a lot of old people say, I don't need to take a shower because I'm old and I'm going nowhere anyway. But actually, you do need to take a shower when you're old. Because all your body odors are enhanced when you're elderly. All your body odors are enhanced. Everything is enhanced. You can eat oatmeal and celery every day, but your body odor is still going to be enhanced. It's going to have enhanced body odor when you're elderly. So a lot of old people think, I don't have to take no bath. I don't go nowhere. Okay, that's not true. You need to get in that shower. Okay. And a lot of them, I know foreigners have that problem. People think all the Africans have that problem. Not necessarily. I mean, the problem is in all the foreigners. All of them. They have body odor problems. All of them. I don't care whether they're from the Middle East, where they come from Africa, where they come from India, or Central America. They all have body odor problems. They all have hand washing problems. I mean, I look at the hands, I remember one time I went into the store with this one lady who was buying some food from an Arab. His hands were dirty. He had dirt underneath his nails. So I know that if you have dirt underneath your nails, your whole body's dirty. I know that. That means if you have dirt underneath your nails, you haven't washed your hands in days, maybe months. So I know that the whole body is dirty. I look at nails a lot. I look at, personally, I look at nails a lot. Whether or not a person's, nails are clean. I look at that a lot. And you're not going to cook me any food if your nails are dirty, okay? But, see, hygiene just has to be taught. In some countries, there's no concept of clean. There's just no concept. They cook food with dirty, filthy nails. You never see them washing clothes. And so, quite naturally, if they get a sickness, the sickness is made even worse by them having no body odor and filthiness. You take like African children, their sickness is made worse because they never bathe. All they gotta do is go to the river, get some water, boil the water, and then wash the kids with soap. African children, if the African child is sick, it's made worse because the parents don't bathe them. And I never see African women groom particularly their daughter's hair. They just cut it all off because they're too lazy to groom it. In India, you see the children are dirty and nasty because they're just too lazy to go to the river, get some water, boil it, and wash the kids with soap. You see that in India. The cleanest children I've seen are the ones in Vietnam, China, Japan, the Asian countries. They're the cleanest. Except the Filipinos, they dirty. But majority of the Asian countries, the Vietnamese, the South Koreans, Chinese, and Japanese, their children are clean. Middle Eastern countries, they all have a problem with bathing, and so on. I remember the teacher, personally, you take as many showers as necessary. If you want to take 1 shower a day or 2 showers a day, you want to take a shower every 4 hours or every 8 hours. It's your water, it's your bill. I don't see why you can't do that. I remember this teacher told me that she can always tell a child from the projects because they have this project smell, quote unquote. And I didn't even know there was such a thing. Because I grew up partially in the projects, and I don't recall us having a project smell. But she said they have a project smell. So, look, I urge you to start teaching your child about hygiene. Make sure they have a bath every day. Make sure their hair is combed. If you're too cotton picking lazy to comb it, pay somebody else to comb it. Okay? Make sure your boy's hair is combed. Okay? And make sure he take a shower every day. You need to teach your children about hygiene. You need to set the example. Make sure you take at least 1 shower a day, maybe more. But you take a cotton picking shower. Okay, and teach your children that. I remember there was this radio program that I used to listen to at a certain time, and you would know the radio personality if I said it, but they came on one day and said, so and so, you need to take a shower, because you stink, and then they did that for the next 2 days. They were talking to some person, said you need to take a bath because you stink. I think it's a cruel thing to say that. I think it's a cruel thing to tell people that. I remember I was working at this place, and there was this other girl who worked a second job at this factory. This factory had a lot of odors. So it's imperative that because she worked at this factory to wash that stuff out of her hair and her clothes every day. But when she would come to the building where I was working at, they said she would smell. So the higher ups didn't want to tell her. So they got this lowly secretary to tell her. So this is what the secretary did. She took her aside and said, you stink. You need to dress better. You have a body odor. Duh. Okay. That's very difficult to tell people. But see, you want to make sure it's not told to you. So that's why you should, I cannot stand smelly clothes. I really can't. I just won't wear the clothes until they're washed. I just cannot stand smelly clothes because they just mess up the whole room. You can smell the odor in the whole room. So I cannot stand smelly clothes, okay? And like I said, if you want to take 1 shower a day or a shower every 8 hours, is your bill, is your soap. Now, you know what? I met people who, particularly this one person, he's in college and he stank. And in college, you don't pay any bills, okay? Unless you live off campus. But if you live on campus, you don't pay any bills. You don't pay any water, electricity, or nothing. You can take 5 showers a day and nobody cares. But he stank. He stank really bad. I guess because he was from the backwoods and he didn't know anything about hygiene. He stank. And I didn't even understand that because everything, if you live on campus, everything in college is free. You don't pay any electricity bill. You don't pay a water bill. All you pay for is the soap. And if you go to most of these stores around the colleges, the stores soap is like 10 cents. 10 in the bar, okay? But he stank. Okay, so there are college students who get into college education. They don't know anything about hygiene either. There are a lot of people like that. I had a roommate that said this guy she went out with had crabs and he was dirty and nasty too. Whatever. College students have complained about a lot of college students who stink. I mean, I've heard that about college students complaining about such and such college students that they smell so bad, they would smell up either the whole dormitory or they would smell up, their apartment complex. Okay, and water is free and soap is cheap in general. Okay, like I said, you got to learn how to take a shower, how to take a bath and wash your clothes when you're young. Otherwise, you're not going to do it when you're old. I've seen really filthy senior citizens that are, in their 70s and 80s, and they're really filthy, keep their room filthy, just really filthy people. Rooms stink and so on and so forth, and won't take a bath at all. So you got to get in these habits while you're young of taking a shower every day so that when you're old, it's just automatic. You get up in the morning, you may get up a little slower than everybody else or slower than you used to get up, but you get up in the morning and you take a shower. You know, I don't like to go to bed until I've had a shower. You know, that's just personally. I definitely do not leave the house until I've taken a shower. That's my habit. Since I'm going into old age, that is my habit. I don't go to bed without a shower, and I don't leave the house without a shower. That is my habit that I plan on keeping until I leave this earth. And like I said, train your children. Make sure they train to take a shower or bath. Make sure you're not too lazy to comb the hair, please. Especially the girls. But like I said, I don't agree with that video because a lot of people don't have any control over where they come to a hospital. Okay, but personally, I like to, before I go to the hospital, I like to at least wash myself off, put on some clean clothes, everything clean before I go there. Have a nice day.